What do you miss the most from pre-COVID?
As a person who works nights, stores and restaurants that are open late. I used to be able to get out of work at whatever hour and have a dozen different grocery stores and fast food restaurants I could stop at on the way home, and now 2 years after the pandemic I have only one or two, and sometimes they'll be closed anyway for whatever reason.
Not being able to book things long in advance because you have no idea what the situation will be like in a handful of months. You can sure as hell buy the tickets for a gig that's happening months from now, but is it actually gonna happen when it's supposed to? Who TF knows, man? Shrugging.
I guess I miss not having a stack of inconveniences that have to be dealt with in order to do public things. It's not that any one inconvenience is too much, but it's just so many little things. Really living. This feels like just existing. I'm stuck with this overwhelming feeling of ennui. Bored with food, bored with TV, bored with social media, bored with books. Confused face. Movies in the theater and convention season, and all virtual social life is sucking. My sister. Not seen her in person since the start as she works abroad. Sure, we video chat, but 2 years is a long time to not see someone in person.
Honestly, just the feeling of security we didn't realize. You want to go out, go for it, making plans somewhere out of town, you go right ahead, planning a vacation somewhere, no problem. Now you can't really make any large-scale plans without the decent chance it'll get cancelled and you lose the down payments.
A normal university experience. Where I live, many universities have been mostly virtual since March 2020, so the community and social aspects of university has been almost entirely absent.
And the fact that we're still paying full price for zero amenities and bullpoo classes, some of which don't even meet, is straight highway robbery.
My grandparents.
My dad.
Not living in a constantly changing system. Pre-COVID, everything was scheduled. School holidays, places were open to visit. But since COVID, everything that has to do with the government is constantly changing. I just miss being on stable ground.
I graduated in 2019 and decided to take a gap year in 2020, and thank F that I did.
In-person classes. Before COVID, I took a drawing class, a sewing class, etc. Now, it's so much harder to try out a new hobby.
Ugh, I was in PTA, physical therapist assistant, school during the pandemic, and we did hybrid learning. Lab classes in person, lecture online. I learned very quickly that I do not learn through online lectures. I need to be in person to stay engaged.
My optimism for my future. My waistline.
I remember seeing the joke floating around all over the internet of, now that I've lived through a plague I understand why Renaissance paintings are all a bunch of chubby women laying around with their tits out. It's pretty on the nose. Being present-minded, here and now, sort of mentality. Last 2 years feels like I've paused things waiting for this pandemic to blow over. But the more time passes, the more I feel like I'm just wasting away, if it makes sense. Edit. Asterisk. Thank you guys for the awards and what is by far my most upvoted comment. Just wanted to clarify that my mental health is fine as far as this pandemic goes, but the comments' concerns are appreciated. Stay safe and as optimistically positive as your situation allows.
Working from home and rarely leaving the house has me losing track of time. Find myself having trouble recognizing the date or day of the week.
Easy travel. Pre-COVID I used to head either overseas or interstate often, with minimal planning needed. I renewed my passport December 2019, so that was a unnecessary cost considering.
Understanding what people say. I have bad hearing loss and I rely hard on reading lips. Far more than I realized. Now that everyone is wearing a mask and their voice is slightly muffled, I'm constantly asking people to repeat themselves.
I miss the fact of just being sick without any other kind of concern.
I have chronic, but mild, reflux. Irritates my throat, causing me to feel the need to clear it. Every other week it's been, is this cough the normal cough or COVID? Greater than, _ less than.
Making appointments of various kinds, medical, dental, renewing driver's licenses and such, and especially vet appointments, seems like a huge hassle now, and sometimes the next free slot is weeks, months out.
Lol, yeah. I had something come up right before a dentist appointment and called to reschedule. First appointment was another 6 months. Then during the cleaning they're like, you got a lot of build up, why did you wait so long to come in for a cleaning? Listen mother effer.
All the restaurants that went out of business. Tried and true ramen shops, Chino Cubano hole in the walls, classic Italian fare, the underrated Mediterranean fusion spot that always gave you a little extra hummus without you asking. All the places my fiancé and I used to get lost in. They're all effing gone. It really sucks.
Local or small businesses, too. There used to be a family video hanging on a couple blocks down, and we loved the nostalgia of browsing the new releases and back titles and renting a couple movies for the weekend. It shut down about 6 months ago.
My friends. I went from the most socially active person on the planet, to a lonely asshole. Some got engaged and disappeared, lots of them went away for work, others simply disappeared, and knowing new people is hard as hell nowadays. These things all happened even before, but pandemic really got them bigger. God only knows how bad I'd go back in time.
Socialization. It's so hard to make friends right now. I feel very isolated. Edit, holy poo, thank you. Also, we're all so lonely, loudly crying. Deaf person able communicate with people without a mask. So I can see their face and read lips. I've been feeling lonely. P.S. Man guys. I just saw this as of now and all those awards? Wow. Thank you so much. Reddit people on here, you're my friends. Internet hugs. Thank you for making my day.
I wish more knew about this. One of my friends is a huge advocate for deaf and hard of hearing folks, and she is a big proponent for clear masks. Obviously not on the same level, but I have some minor hearing damage and I find it so much harder to talk to someone with a mask on unless we are in a quiet surrounding. I can't even imagine your frustration. Slightly frowning face. Is there anything that hearing people can do to help deaf people out in this situation, other than the clear masks?
Regular effing doctor appointments. No, I do not want to do my annual OB/GYN visit through a video. Pretty sure that's how you get P.
Casually popping into restaurants.
Thought it said pooping. Still applies.
Being excited about the future. As much as I dislike Walmart, damn do I miss them and other stores being open late night. All of my night shift friends have suffered and forced to only shop on days off.
I miss not thinking about everything as pre-COVID. Before the pandemic, I usually just thought of past events as past events. But now, I often find myself labeling everything from 2019 and back as, oh, that was before COVID. It's sad that the pandemic has gotten to the point where it defines your entire life.
I'm the exact same way. Everything is now organized as pre-COVID, early COVID, or current COVID in my head right now.
My favorite California burrito place. They're gone. They were jammed in a small space in a strip mall, but their prices and quality kicked the crap out of the competition. I put one of their paper menus in my filing cabinet so I will always remember them. I can't believe I didn't post it, so many requests for the name. It was El Amigo in Imperial Beach, San Diego.
Rip all the places I didn't get to try because pre-COVID I was like, oh, I can go there whenever. No rush.
Vacations. I had one booked for tail end of March 2020. Literally got cancelled on me about a week prior. I miss vacations and being able to travel.
Listen to this. I somehow lucked into a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go on a 9-day vacation to the Galapagos Islands tomorrow. It's been in the works for 8 months, and I've been insanely excited. Work from home, basically don't go anywhere. If I do, I am masked. And specifically stopped leaving the house on January 1st. To be safe, COVID-wise. Fully vaxxed. Boosted about a month ago. Got COVID anyway. Really have no idea how. No one in or out in the past 10 days. Symptoms started January 5th. Feeling better now. But I just took a PCR test, and there's a chance that it may be negative and COVID is over for me and I can go on my amazing trip. But what are the effing odds? I made it this far. And I get it now. Sorry, I'm stressed and upset. Edit. I absolutely hope I'm not rubbing this in the noses of all you wonderful people who have shared the tragic stories of COVID ruining their plans, but the test is negative. Adios America and hola Ecuador. Thanks for all of the support. Now I've got to finish packing. The flight leaves at 5. The certainty, and even if life was uncertain in its own way, it was never this uncertain. Got a holiday booked for 6 months' time. 99.9% you'd get to do it. Got a wedding to look forward to. Yeah, that was going to happen. Now we can't even be certain there's anything to look forward to. Edit. Thank you for the kind awards. Here's hoping that we get to do all the things this year.
I never realized how much I counted on trips before the pandemic. Whenever I was sad or stressed out with work, I would remind myself, it's okay, we're going to blank in 2 weeks, just gotta get through these 2 weeks. I have nothing planned anymore because it'll just get cancelled or rescheduled, and ultimately cancelled or forgotten about. The only things I am looking forward to now are therapy Zooms and doctor appointments. Future is bleak. Edit. So I was in a bad place when I wrote this comment. I feel a lot better, especially after reading a lot of kind responses. There is a lot to look forward to, but it has been a rough couple years and I think we're all tired.
Not feeling like society is a joke, honestly. The pandemic really hit home that we are all just making it up as we go along and no one knows what they're doing.
Traveling internationally.
Frankly, I'd prefer if you stuck to local gutters, thank you.
Live music, going to shows. Not having foggy glasses all the time from mask wearing.
I went to a gig in December and it felt like a shot of cocaine through my system. It was unreal. I forgot what it was like to dance and sing and enjoy music.
Not having to talk about the same damn thing all the time.
This is a major pet peeve of mine as well. Seeing people is already harder, but when I do see them it's not as fun because we met up 2 weeks ago and literally nothing new happened. No trips, no spontaneous ideas, a lot less travels, no unexpected meetups. I've been dating, and I think over half my dates have had a near burnout in the past year. Last year I met up with a friend and she said, "Oh yeah, I already know everything you want to say. I saw your housemate last week," and she was goddamn right.
Lower prices. Housing went up, food as well. Prices of petrol, electricity and heating are through the roof.
It feels like I am buying groceries at the airport.
If you can't travel cause of COVID restrictions, we can at least bring airport to you. More mild depression. I have severe depression now and getting a therapist is basically impossible because everyone has depression. In addition of maybe having other mental problems, I'd love to have the ability to get therapy now, instead of in 2 months, and then I go there without being accepted. I used to try to be mindful of my waste, and for the most part other people did too. But I use so many disposable masks and wet wipes now and I feel really bad about it.
Uber pool. I used to always be able to get cheap Ubers with it and rarely had anyone else ride with me.
Spontaneity. Pre-COVID, if I wanted to go to a store or restaurant I went. I didn't have to check its COVID hours, mask requirements, whether it was open or just for pickup, etc.
Not directly thinking about the worst thing ever when I hear someone cough. Hugging people without any concerns, smiling face with tear.
Feeling like I could trust people to do the right thing.
This is it for me. I didn't think that all humans were sunshine and roses before the pandemic, but I feel like I had some sort of belief that if something really bad was to happen, a war, a tragedy, etc., people would come together to protect one another and support one another. Maybe this is because I was young and impressionable when 9/11 happened and I saw that response, and I feel like that whole innocent belief has been shattered. I feel so suspicious of people and their motives now. I feel like I can't trust anyone that I don't know, and I just assume people will always act in their own interests no matter what the consequence may be. I feel like a much more bitter and cynical person and I hate it. I looked at some pictures from pre-COVID the other day and I just looked lighter. Unburdened in a way. I miss it. I don't think that feeling will ever come back. Sad face.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.